Alright guys, welcome back to another episode of Tales of Arise. We are here to watch a whole bunch of skits. They say, hey man, it's time for you to get all the lore.
Ah, Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's fine. I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
Wink wink. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes? What a way to phrase that, Ren. Well, I'm glad you asked, because we've been asking that question for the past several episodes.
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms.
Oh God.
It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised
stop
me
making
that.
inappropriate jokes.
Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
I mean, technically, you can share a hug. You just gotta endure the pain, you know what I'm saying? Next skit is called Lightening the Mood. Gotta stop teasing her.
Ah, what the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell.
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called
If he did the
experiencing
opposite-
feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it
If
sometime.
he was the one to do that, he'd get hit.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
You won't let me play the game, Cap? ASMR cat purr.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot
He's
right about
licking me.
now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena
I
actually
gotta
looked
keep
like
this
that.
hand cat free.
And what's the deal with that
This is-
giant flower
This is the
coming out
hand
of
that's
it?
eating the cookies.
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the
Spherical.
heavens.
Hey,
But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown
so the Earth is
contest,
really flat?
but
Look
also
at
the
us.
form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
It's not spherical.
Okay,
I tell you that.
who's the wise guy that summoned us here?
Someone formidable enough to bring our starship along with us.
They must be here somewhere. Let's find them.
That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the
I got
Renin
this from
side that
Enemy
it first
Walking
came from,
2020.
right?
I got it last year.
That's what it looked like. And
Right
then the
before the
Danon side
pandemic.
responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renin homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegus?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. What are they after?
Where?
Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Maybe they're
Try
trying
to
to
stay
like
calm. With so many factors we don't understand,
reverse
dwelling on
time.
it won't get us anywhere.
That's the only thing I can think of.
What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing. So much for me making progress, huh?
You mean
This dude keeps getting brought up. Yeah, I don't think that's kind of sus in a story narrative way. This is happening way too
you
often.
made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
Do we know who Law's mom is? I'm sorry. Oh wait, don't attack me, okay? Alright, welcome to a very special episode co-hosted by our very own Amina, the cat. Okay. I might be right. I'm just saying, bro. It's just kind of weird. He played a very important role at shaping your boy. And if you remember the first interaction, why exactly did they have that information on knowing exactly where Xion was? I think that's kind of funny, because that was never really. I feel like that was kind of weird. I still want to know who was able to like. This is one question I never understood. How was she tied up? How was she tied up, by the way? If she has active thorns, how was she captured? Oh my god, this cat's trying to get into the cookies. Amina, why is John still my cookies? She's just purring, dude. All right, cat, I gotta let you down. You're starting to interrupt the video. Sorry. We got another hour, cat. I know I usually don't go on this long. She usually like gets up here. She'd still be knocked out. That's true. I guess they had a like prod her or whatever. But if you think about it, the physical swinging enemies, I know we brought this up before. Why are enemies that like swing, like those bear claws, they swinging on her but not getting like counter damage in the game? I know. I'm just pointing that out because I think that's funny. That's always funny. That logic between narrative and the actual gameplay. That shit's funny to me. Just to point that out. Hey, Lost Odyssey had a game. That game was about immortals. They had a very interesting system. I feel like we don't know. I feel like we need to get another.
A lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Oh God, we need to learn more about
What's
Law. I
that?
feel like we don't know enough. I feel like. Oh my God, that's the red.
It's one of
woman,
those.
right?
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
Alien.
It doesn't look like it can move.
Telepathic communication.
Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
Cool.
What are you?
Hevrect 35.
Have correct.
Hevrect 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
Wait, I thought you brought us in. What the hell?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of red women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Oh, you a danger.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
Hold up. I gotta pause the game. There's a desync going on. So
Shall now answer your questions. We are Helganquil. The red women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helganquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident.
Oh.
The will of Rena's great spirit no longer reaches us here.
Interesting.
Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan.
Dude.
As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Don't say Maxwell.
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it without question.
Does it want to
throughout
read the story
ages.
since it's like not
Does
doing
that
well?
mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this great spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
She got
Yeah,
real
but-
defensive. Damn.
Let's assume that what Hevrek 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents. So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
Which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegus are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state.
It's hungry.
As a result, it
Just
has
like
turned
Xion.
its attention toward Dana.
Gluttonous.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
That makes sense.
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
Bruh. Did they just explain capitalism?
But the ceremony failed. Lenegus was severely
Just
damaged,
instead of money?
and you lost
Astral
both the
energy?
Sovereign and the Renaissance.
No. I'm tripping. Hold on.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
Hevrecht, get wrecked 35. I love
First,
that name.
it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
No. I don't fight great spirits anymore. I'm gonna skip the cutscene because this. No, I'm just playing.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
Yeah, I got you, cuz.
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Renin. If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize.
Centuries.
As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
No, worse. Extinction.
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
Ask the others.
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us.
I think there's other
Let's take a look around.
beings here, maybe. Or maybe we gotta... Hold on. He said he's the only one of his kind here. Alright. Let's get out of here.
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us
Hey
into
bro,
doing
we
its
ain't got
dirty
no other
work.
information, bro.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you,
That's how I
Doline?
felt about reading all that
Were you able to
information.
follow it at all?
With the lore and
At
the
the very
sovereign and all
least,
the other stuff.
Everything it said about the Renin Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy. That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Renin wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into...
That's what I would like to know. Are the people in Lenegis remnants of Renans? I gotta know. Or the Helganquil, are they The actual inhabitants of Renin? Like, hold on. Look, there's a lot of stuff I gotta follow here.
All this.
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevrek 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
Bro, we're getting too many answers, bro. Oh my god, bro. My head is about to explode right now. Hey, what we got over here? They still growing all these herbs. I guess this is the... When we see, like, trees and stuff, all these plant... Is that for oxygen? They gotta get that O2? I assume they grow stuff like that on ships for oxygen, probably. Alright, let's get out of here. Zephyr. You sure this ain't Star Ocean 5? Is this what Star Ocean 5 should have been? I'm sorry. What the heck? Damn, we're pretty far away, bro. Look at that. Oh, I see Darius Carlon over there. Oh, you see that? You see that over there? I wonder if there's like... You think there's like... I feel like there's something specific here. If you look closely, there's like a hidden little reference somewhere. See, if you look at that shape over there, that is right there. If you connect the constellations, oh yeah, it shapes the form of Crest Alvin. You know, I don't know. I'm looking for things that aren't here. I guess we need to come here later. I don't understand why we needed to come in here. I guess I went there too. That's probably somewhere we go after we talk to everybody. Wait, where did I go? I think I made the mistake of going to the wrong area. So we were in the central area, right? We couldn't go to the lower area before. Looks like we can now. What if this place is just a whole bunch of different species? That'd be hilarious. How y'all ain't got no treasure chest on here, man? Y'all tripping. Oh, I like how there's a fast travel thing, but we can't fast travel to it even though we just unlocked it. This is definitely not the area, huh? Wait, hold up. I guess I just follow the stars. Oh, it's like just as I predicted.
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Crazy.
Are you a Renin?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
Dramatic shift? Bro, they the news.
What a weird guy.
What the?
He must have meant Hevrek 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Renna, do you?
Bro, don't tell me they're just here to like analyze things going on.
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Bruh, this is gonna be wild. I think we in for a fucking trip, bro. I think we're in for some crazy revelations. There's already been some crazy shit, but man.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
No. Go home.
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
See?
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
I had that question. I'm glad they asked that first.
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by...
I joked about this earlier, bro. But I didn't have I didn't have the super foresight to say that they were gonna be the Helganquil. Oh my god, bro.
By the Helganquil.
Nani? Enhanced.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all died.
Interesting.
They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Oh, shit. Yeah. Hey, what y'all talking about, bro? Y'all work for us now. Yo, you were created to... Oh, man. This is wild.
I get this straight.
This is basically
Are
SO2.
you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Oh, man.
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Yep. Oh.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and...
Enough!
Do you see how you was
tell us
talking?
anymore.
Look at the fish
How
eye.
can you speak so
the
calmly
wide
about
eye
all of
angle,
this?
dude. The wide angle lens.
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
This is sick. This game is sick. Everything's sick.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some
Genetically
new
altered
revelation
beings.
smacks us in the face.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
Okay, everything I said about Law and his dad, I'm sorry. I was spitting on that man's grave, saying all that crazy shit. I apologize, Zephyr.
Have you guys lived up here in Dag Faisal with Hevrek 35 for a long time?
Have wrecked. Why is that a PSN gamer
Yes.
tag?
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though.
Have
We
wrecked.
regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack
What
over
are
the years.
34 other Hevreks?
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
And you've been working for Hevrek 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves
Yep.
around us Renans.
Yep, that's why we didn't notice
As long
the
as they
red
don't do
woman.
anything obvious,
Yep.
a Renin won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
I knew it.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected.
Wow.
It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict. I have to imagine that's how Lenegus is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrek 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Well, he doesn't
Don't you
want
to go back home to Rena or Lenegus?
Right? So.
Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
Damn.
After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold.
They said we ain't
instead.
trying to slave no more. We ain't trying to get
Things
our
are
ass
going
beat.
just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer.
I'm not trying to be
It
about
can't
that
extend
life.
its life any further. That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
Oh man.
Thank you for answering our questions.
Like the moment, as soon as like we got to the third palace or whatever, I noticed the Red Woman. I'm like, damn, is she just in every palace, bro? Like, do they? I simply thought like, yo, this is weird. Why is she like here, like in every palace? Like, they really need to just switch up the NPCs, bro, because all these models look the same. I thought it was just them being lazy. But no, it was actually a detail they did left there on purpose, which is clever as hell, dude. And then I think the other thing that happened was when she revealed herself, Dohalim and Shion was like, "Well, we never seen him. Hey, we never seen him. Like we never paid attention. Like I didn't recognize that." So, and then Rinwell and Law was always saying like, "Well, that's surprising that they both didn't see it, and they were both freaking, you know, Renans, right?" So, damn, this game is good. This game is good. This game is good. This game is good. It's crazy. This game has some mystery, bro. We got fantasy elements. We got some sci-fi elements. Yo,
do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
Almost. That's kind of scary.
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegus to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
Bro, DVI
I take it the
HDMI
solutions
cable.
to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and
They said
Maiden to
display
convert
port
the
to
energy.
HDMI? Is that what had happened?
We have a winner. However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day. For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
Wait a minute. How long
And the
have they
crown
been
contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Hevrecht 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
They've been here since the beginning
Feels
of
like
time,
our whole
bro.
world has been turned upside down. Is there anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take
My
in.
man sounds
but
like a soldier.
I
Captain,
think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking
Captain
for.
Donna.
Does
Like,
everyone
right there.
agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans,
Oh, they broke
who
it
went
down.
on to invade and rule over the
They
Danas.
broke everything down just now. I like
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once.
that. Y'all all
Maybe too
originated
much
from
even.
Africa.
We should
Remember that.
probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over before we decide on our next move?
That's
Stay
a good
woke.
idea, Kisara.
Stay woke.
If the Renin Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break
Did
off
Alpha
for now.
just do the meme?
We aren't in any
with the
immediate
pointing
danger,
to the
so
temple?
we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Oh yeah, I completely agree with that one sequence on walking back. That was just forced. Like, hey,
Everyone's
this is
just
your last
gone their
chance of
own
playing
way,
the game
huh?
for a while.
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
So far, things on Donna have proceeded according to plan. I feel honored to witness the final stages of event generations in the making. I'm keen to see how it all turn out. Bro, this is not an episode. It's being broadcast live to the... I don't know. It's being broadcast live. This is just Danganronpa all over again, bro.
Everything we thought we knew.
End of the game.
It was
Yeah,
all
we're
just a
streaming the
fabrication
end of
that
this
the Red
place.
Women... No, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrecht 35 has told us, that is.
Have wrecked.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrecht 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one
That
massive
name is
lie,
so great.
does that mean everything we've
I
done
love
up
that
until
they gave
now
that
has been
man that name.
pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Oh, this game story is fire, bro. Honestly, it's easily top 2 stories in Tales games. Easily, bro. I'm gonna say this might be the best story in a Tales game. All because my personal, like, this is everything in this game that fantasy. You know, you got your modern day nonsense with sci-fi. I love it. It's got like so many things that I love about games in it. So good. Until you hit them boss fights, and then it's like, damn, why did I have to do this? Boss fights are easy, but certain boss fights, let me tell you the bosses I don't like. The ones that have you defeat waves of enemies and you don't actually fight the actual threat. I'm like, that's bullshit. I want to fight the big dude. Don't let me fight the small dude and beat the big dude with some quick time event. Screw that. I want to fight the biggest niggas. Let me fight them, you know? I want to fight them, not these waves of enemies. Appreciate the follow.
Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all. But he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans and the Great Spirit and all that?
Whole culture created,
On
bro.
some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Danans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans.
Yep.
So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
This is messed up.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helgan Quill and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Danan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Danans have against the Renans is long.
The dude being chained up gave us a hint about all this. You noticed that, right?
If people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah.
Yes, he was like,
I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Like,
even just among the Danans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred.
And get a therapist.
It won't be achieved through reasoning. But I think it's a good first step, if nothing else.
That's right.
And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Thanks, Mom. We needed to hear that. That character is such a mom, bro. Look at this guy. Oh, you need help, bro? We got you. Give me something good. You know what? I want my astral energy back, bro. Yo, happy bottles. I guess they take these happy bottles to, you know, they live in a really isolated area. So I guess they need these happy bottles to stay happy. You know, that's like them drinking alcohol. I guess alcohol is the happy bottles. Drink this, it'll make you happy. Yeah, I'm gonna need to get this background on my phone. Alright, let's get it.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell?
Like, for real.
That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Danon mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Danons again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danons probably won't be so quick to let their guards down. And there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danon and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Renwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting.
That is crazy.
So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Because she can use astral energy without the genetic altered stuff. So that's pretty cool. Huh. I wonder if they will actually bring any of that up with Renwell.
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Oh, she's special, alright. I hope there comes a day when mages are just like anybody else on Dana. She technically... That sucks, because the things about Renans that make them special is they can use astral arts. She's not Renin, but she can use astral arts. So it's like, to be oppressed by the Renans, who are basically having very high astral aptitude, and basically not being given the chance to basically be on the higher portion of the hierarchy, I guess. It's kind of crazy. Getting oppressed. But, well, I guess they didn't really know. They didn't really know, because she had to keep her power secret. My man Law, this dude about to be shook.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memories started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong.
That's
my
chi.
way.
Chi and
But all this
astral
talk
energy is
about other
different.
races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about, all I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place.
Once again.
Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Alright, my dude. I don't think I have it in me. I don't know. Wait, what was that? Did somebody say something? I'm shook. Wait, did we get a notification on Twitch? I'm getting spooked. This game turned into a horror film, like real quick. The horror film.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Yeah.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain.
True.
Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans.
Right.
Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
Right.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator, so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably.
Ah.
As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
Hell no.
You don't even need to ask.
That's why I'm gonna help you, bro.
Of course I will.
That's what friends are for, to joke with
Thank you.
They're in serious
my friend.
situations. I'm not gonna help you, bro.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
Oh, man.
What about you, Shion? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
There's so much going on.
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually. I mean, I might be a Renin in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope
The day
that
and
somehow,
NyQuil.
someone in the future
The
would be able to
NyQuils.
stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call, is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me, a Danan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other. Oh, maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people.
You hear
Even
that,
and
Sasuke?
especially before they forgive you.
Sasuke, you hear that?
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about.
Get Nancy.
I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
The few, the proud,
Whoa there, Savior
the
girl.
Marines. Yes.
We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I haven't forgotten.
Listen. Yeah. I didn't skip that, by the way. The game did that.